I was at Cambridge United for close to a decade, and my time at the club, I worked in pretty much every single role you can think of. I was coaching in schools through to development centres. I led on birthday parties and different experiences. I then ran some of those programs and oversaw them. I then ended up working within the academy. I was really fortunate throughout my journey for the club to support me with a number of fantastic coaching qualifications. I've been on some brilliant courses, UEFA A license, the Advanced Youth Awards. So I've been blessed to be sort of in the presence and around so many fantastic coaches. There is sort of another side to that, and throughout my journey, although I had the experience to be on all these courses, I also saw myself come away from the coach that I was when I first started. When I first started coaching, I was full of rubbish jokes. I was 100 miles an hour. I was jumping around, probably having more fun than the kids half the time. And as I spent more time in professional football and academy football, I found myself becoming stricter. I found myself becoming less fun, more serious. And I watched a video back from one of my coach observations that the FA were doing at the time. And I watched it and I could barely recognise myself coach. I was standing on the side of a pitch, encouraging, probably not in the best way possible. Encouraging probably isn't the best word to use. I was probably telling the children at the ages of 7 and 8 years old to play faster. And I watched that video, and to be honest, I watched it in a little bit of horror through my fingers like this, and I was mortified really to see the coach that I'd become so far away from what I was when I first started. That sort of then led me into my role at the Football Fun Factory. So my colleague and founder of the organisation, James Cutting, had set up the FFF, and I was watching what he was doing, and I met him for a coffee, and I was desperate to get involved, and I handed in my notice. I just got a new job or promotion at Cambridge United at the time, and handed my notice in 2 days later because I had to be part of the Football Fun Factory and what James was trying to achieve. Now on to the Football Fun Factory, and while you can see me and Luke sporting the FFF logo, and you can see lots of bright colourful photos and signs on the walls behind me. So we are a children's coaching organisation for children aged 2 through to 12. We focus, as the name suggests, solely on fun, making fun experiences for children, and that may be their first steps in football, or it may be that they train with another club, or maybe in a development centre at a club, and then also partake in our experiences as well. We're really passionate about eliminating barriers to opportunity. So our experiences are for boys, girls, children of all experience levels. So we've got, like I said, some beginners or some that actually train with professional clubs as well. And we want to try and put football on the doorstep of as many children as possible. So one thing that maybe didn't sit right with him within academy football about distance that children were travelling in the car, and there's one stat that I worked out when I was at Cambridge United. There was one child who used to travel from London up to Cambridge, and I worked out that he was spending between 20 and 30 days not hours, 20 and 30 days of a year in the car travelling to and from training and matches. And at that point it just blew my mind. It didn't really sit right with me, and I think that was part of my passion to come on board at the Football Fun Factory and really try and put football on the doorsteps of as many children as possible.